a big honor. I'm so happy to have with us Sιντορέλα Βάτνικάι, who is one of the main activists at the very important right now movement, we can say that, protests that have rocketed Tirana and other cities in Albania and abroad, where there is a significant presence of Albanian immigrants, for the attempt to fence off and start work on a protected area, a Natura, in Albania, in a place that is called Sferniko Zoe. So welcome, Sιντορέλα.
Thank you very much for your time.
So you are every day on the streets fighting against the plans of exploiting this zone that it is protected, a zone that the family of Donald Trump wants to create there a huge investment, touristic investment. So let's start from how did all this began, and until where can this go? For how long are you, willing to be on the streets and fight?
Well, how I will start by how it started. The protest started the day after one of the protesters that was protesting in Zvernet was violated and being dragged out by the security guards that at the fence that was built on Zvernet. And the police was there. They did not intervene to help and protect the protester, and also the media boycotted the whole situation, but activists were there, so nobody knew it happened. But that specific moment, I think, when one of the protesters was being dragged out and violated, and the police did not intervene, and also the media pushed and moved a lot of the citizens in Albania, because they saw that the state is not anymore run by their institutions, but by force. And also the media is collaborating to boycott the whole thing, what is happening. So I think that is the point when the revolt started. I think against the violence of this government, and also the violence of investments that not only destroy nature, but also they're destroying communities, they're destroying protected areas, they're also destroying our work and utopia of democracy and state of law, because these kind of projects are never public. Nobody knows when it's happening, so you only know when they fence the land. And also the only ones that are profiting are the oligarchy and the autocrat in power. And also these big names such as Jared Kushner, Ivanka Trump, and in other cases architects, are used as a tool to legitimize the corruptive project. So I think that become all clear in just this very small episode, and then it just moved people out of their houses on the streets.
So this is not just one case. This is just one of many common and same cases. And who is behind that? Is the government of Έντι Ράμα? Is the Albanian oligarchy? Is the Albanian mafia? And how are they being, connected with the Arabic Israeli interests and with the family of Trump? Do you know the whole plan now? How is it? And then I will move on to the next questions.
Well, the whole plan. So when the protest started and people were fighting against this project, but also the autocracy. So it's not only fighting against this specific project, but also the autocracy that has been built in Albania for the last 36 years after the fall of the communist dictatorship. The argument that the prime minister told to the protesters was that there was no plan So the project does not exist. That was in the first days of the protest. And then after that, we could see that there's a master plan that foresees to build not only one resource but a lot of units that would be wait for 100 of tourists. So nobody knows exactly what the project is going to be because it's not public but the institutions, but there is a master plan circulating in the society. And Björn has a very important article that shows how, Albanian mafia, Albanian oligarchy, the media, and also Jared Kushner and Ivanka Trump are involved in the project. From their investigations, we could see that the owners of the land is one Albanian oligarch that is also investigated in Italy for taking part in organized crime there. That's the owner of the land, and he's not from there.
Sindorella, the land is protected land. It is the area of Piseporo, Viosa, Narta, wetland, the village of Zvernek, and the island of Sazan all together. That is opposite. It is such a huge. It's such a huge area.
It's a very huge. Area, but there are two projects. So the privatization of the Sazan Island, that's something that we don't have any kind of information what is going to be. We just got this information that it's privatized by Ivanka Trump. We don't know in what stage is that, from her interview. So nobody, and her talking about how she discovered this private island, which is not private actually. It's public property of the Albanian state because it's a public island. And the other project in Zvernet, when it's foreseen to be built, this. It's another project, and Ivanka Trump is used there as a name for her consultancy. So that's how her name is involved. But from what we have seen from previous project, these names are only used to legitimize the project. At least in this case, who is building there? It's the Albanian oligarchy and also organized crime, because I think the most important question would be, where does the money coming from, and where does the money coming from also to build the skyscrapers of Tirana that nobody can afford to live in, and they are completely empty, and also who affords to live and rent this very luxury resorts in the south seaside of Albania. And it's the same logic that has been going on for a lot of years now in Albania, and somehow they propagated it as development. But we could see, we have been telling that it's money laundering, organized crime involved, only the oligarchy is profiting, and also the autocrat is doing that. Is the prime minister is doing this all himself. Nobody knows. You just know when a fence comes and don't let you in.
So, but these are, and please correct me if I'm wrong, the most massive movement since the communism collapsed, which is something extraordinary, because nobody could ever believe that a touristic investment linked to the mafia, to the oligarchs, to funds from the Arabic states and maybe Israel and the Trump family will cause such a reaction. So, and in this reaction in the streets, so many days that maybe you will close 1 month very soon. There are not only activists, this is very important, and it is not only the opposition, the Rama's opposition. Can you please tell us who are all those people in the streets at this moment, and why this touristic investment, corrupted investment, caused such a massive movement, which can you name it also a revolution, a social political revolution for Albania? Can it bring something new also?
Well, when the first protest, when we organized the very first protest, we were expecting 50, 100 maximum protesters, and then we saw the crowd. So the crowd, that's completely unusual. So also to us, it was a very big surprise to see such a huge number of people on the streets. And who are they? They are the whole society. You can see their university professors, you can see their artists, you can see their families with their babies, you can see their grandparents, you can see everyone on the streets. And I think why the people are now in the streets is because the revolt that has been built not only in 36 years but through generations has now a place to be shown. And I think this space where people are on the streets in solidarity with each other, I think it's of course you're right, it's very new, and it's the first time it's happening this way. It's, in my opinion, it's a revolution, because people for the first time in the democratic processes of Albania, they're in the streets by themselves, not organized by a party, and also protesting against not only the party in power but also the opposition party, because we believe that they have been collaborated together for 36 years to remain in power and remain the main opposition party. So nothing changed, and they're both profiting from the same system created by oligarchs to profit by them. And also, I think it's even more than that. It's also a saying of to end this period of transition that we call democracy. I don't think it was like that, because the autocracy of these two people has been built through years by them collaborating with the oligarchy and organized crime, and also legitimized by the European Union institutions and Western institutions. So it's also a call to end a political behavior where two autocrats can decide for the people's lives. So to me, it's also beyond that.
But you are telling us that it is a whole society, Albanian society, from academics to workers, feminists to grandparents. So, but I wonder, okay, these protests are exposing the rottenness and the corruption of the Albanian political and economic system. But where will all this dynamic go in political terms? Is there an alternative? Because till now we know that there are the main two parties, the Έντι Rama's party and the Berisha's party, who is in jail, and they are exchanging one to the other. But what else? Who will take all this energy, all this dynamic to transform it to a political, new proposal?
That's a very good question, which I don't know what will happen. But how I'm seeing it is that the revolution, because that's also another chant, and Shqipëriare, which means new Albania. We want a new Albania, another Albania. It's also being called on the streets. And I think the most important part of this movement is that it has already started to create another Albania and another society. So to me, the whole energy is at the moment going to create another relationships, the society within itself, and also towards institution, and also towards Europe and US. So also the political arguments that are being called every day in front of the prime minister office, or to I think it's usually when we protest, we are used to talk to the prime minister or the institution. Now the society is talking to itself to create another relationship within each other, to create more political awareness, to create solidarity, and also make this fight last. So to me, the energy is going there, and I'm very, very happy it's happening that way. So the democratization of knowledge as well, the democratization of the revolt, it's happening there on the streets every day. And I think that is very important and crucial for the Albanian society that is protesting this way for the first time. So it looks like we are at this moment we are learning the process, and I think the process is very important to then make us confident that we can do it again if after the fall of the autocrat we don't have another autocrats. So I think this process that is being built on the streets is the main successful thing that is happening by the protests. And about the political situation, I'm not. Nobody knows what is going to happen because the society also is asking not to create a party, not to have a leader, because we are. I think we are just done with leaders that are corrupting us and violating our rights. So in that sense, I think it's a real political revolution for the society, and it's changing it a lot.
Do you believe, which is still now the Eddie Rama's reaction? Because I haven't seen anything yet. How is he reacting to this? Is he silent? Has he said something? Do you think that he will draw from this ambitious touristic road investment? And he will never, ever in the future, in the near future, try to do something similar to that? So, which is his reaction till now?
The reaction of the Prime Minister Enди Ráma has been different. In the first days, he tried to demonize protesters, and he's still doing it. He called us Iranian agents, Russian agents. Sometimes, I mean, it was crazy. He also said that we are financed by Greek agencies because we want to destroy Albanian tourism so the tourists could come to Greece. It was a very crazy reaction and not mature at all, because he just tried to give any kind of lie so the people would start demonizing the protester as well. And it was violent because it also put us in a position of danger toward the society, because some of the people were following his propagandistic lies. So that's how he has been reacting, but it's a two-stage reaction. He has one reaction for the protester, which is demonizing, and he also do posts a lot of posts for the international institutions and support when he asks us for dialogue. But I don't, I mean, that's completely propagandistic for me, because we cannot dialogue with one autocrat, and also the people are shouting resign because they don't believe him anymore. And it's not only about ending his power, it's ending a whole political period. So what is there to dialogue with? And also, when we were protesting in the Narta, which is a protected area, hundreds of bulldozers have been destroying the protected area for quite a time, and there was no time for dialogue then. So when hundred and are of people are in the streets every day, what is there to dialogue? We just want the project to start, to stop. That's very clear, and we want him to resign. That's too very clear. So the reaction of him has been, to me, very worrying, because demonizing and spreading propaganda, and also he called us fascists, Nazis. He called us anti-Semitic. I mean, he used everything to demonize the protesters, which, by the way, it's absolutely wrong and violent, because you've seen the protests. There is a whole society there. there's different generations, and there was not an only incident created by the protesters. So they are just there to protest peacefully and last.
Have you counted, can you count the percentage of people who are on the streets right now? Is it the plurality of the Albanian society, you believe?
We never counted them. But I think that that's one of the most important part of the society, because we know people that work in the public administration cannot come to the protest because they are scared of their work jobs, and some of them are also being threatened with their workplace if they post from the protest. So we know the people that work on the public administration are not coming, and we also know that people that are close to the party in power and party in opposition, both of them are scared, because also the Democratic Party that is now in opposition, the first week was just violating us, demonizing us, so their supporters could not join us. And that's why I think this is the most one of the most important parts of the society. And as long as they have been in the streets, it's nearly 3 weeks every day for at least 5 hours, 6 hours on the streets, moving around the city, and the crowd gets bigger and bigger and bigger. It tells something for its spirit, and
So,
of course, and for its numbers.
how do you get organized? The social media played the key role on that. Who is
This
organizing all this? Is it something spontaneous? But it has to have behind it an organization. So how is it all this being organized? Because to be on the streets, a specific hour, so many people, such a huge crowd every day is not an easy thing.
Absolutely. It's completely spontaneous how it happened. It's how happened the first day. We just gather in the main square, Shish Iskandar Bey, and then we march to the Prime Minister office. And then in the end, we just say we will be together as well tomorrow at the same time, same place. So that's how the organizing it's happening. But we, of course, we make some small posters for the social media. It's not happening through traditional media because we are boycotting them. And to us, the whole thing,
Which
and
are,
also
sorry,
our
sorry, which are the traditional medias that you boycott?
we are boycotting Clan TV. We are boycotting Top Channel, Vision Plus. We are boycotting the biggest and most important traditional televisions that are in Albania, because we. So first they boycott what happened in Zvernets in block, all of them, and also they boycotted the protest the first days. And when it became a bigger, a very large number, then they started to show what is happening on the streets. So, and we also know that their owners are part of these strategic investments that are happening in Albania. That's how it's called, and that's how the law is called, strategic investments. And also we know that the owners are part of the construction sites all over Albania. So we know they are just doing that for their own profit and not for the public profit. So one of the most important and common phrase that is being shouted at the protests is boycott the media, which it's about this kind of media.
The pink flamingo is your symbol.
Yeah, yeah, we call it the flamingo revolution, because the flamingos are very specific part of the Zvernets, and of course we were very worried it is destroying also their lives, not only ours, and also the habitat of them, but also it became a symbol of resistance that is not violent, but it's on the streets, and it's getting growing and growing day after day. So it's a very peaceful movement, but still there's a lot of resistance because people are coming every day, staying there 5 hours, 6 hours, and then march into the streets for another 2 hours. So the whole city is paralyzed for at least 8, 9 hours, but no incidents, no physical violence toward, for example, the police that tend to stop us the first days, and then when the crowd was large, they did not do anything. So yeah, it's not the police is being peaceful. I think they don't risk fighting with such a large crowd.
This is very interesting because in another countries, there would be riots between the police and the protesters, and it's very interesting tactic from the Rama's government that he doesn't send the police to destroy, the demonstration. So, until when are you going to be on the streets? For how long can this be happening?
Um, I think that people are very, yeah, they're very resistant until the Rama resigns. So I think that's the thing that people are waiting for, and in the streets calling for that. But to me, this movement, it does not stop there. Also, a call of investigating him to the judiciary system is being called. So the resignment of he as a prime minister is not enough. It's also investigating him for being part of all this corruptive project. So, but I truly believe that people would be in the streets until he resigns, at least as a small victory against this autocracy of the narco state and also oligarchy state that Albania has become.
So, if he resigns, then what? Who will take over power? Who will govern the country?
If he resigns, I think there is going to be some political chaos, and I think in our context that's not a bad thing, because we have been suffered from stabilocracy, from stability of two leaders for 36 years. So stabilocracy in our context, it's actually violating our rights, and nobody knows what will happen if he resigns. But I'm pretty sure that this whole society that is now in the streets and is protesting peaceful for 36 for more than now it's going to be the 20th day, will find a way to build then democratic behavior after that and build democratic institutions. But now for the moment we are more interested in creating this political dream of another Albania and also living it. And then after that, nobody knows, but I'm pretty sure that technic government would maybe take part, and we will go in elections that hopefully will be finally free and democratic, and not how we are seeing it happening for the past 36 years, or how we are seeing that from the progress reports of Osoboe, who are telling us we're doing progress.
So there are so many topics and issues that somebody can discuss about the Albanian government and the drug issue, the issue of exploiting the land of people, specific people, and with Greek origin, etc. But right now we are focusing on these demonstrations. We are having the character of a revolution, a social revolution, and we will be in touch to see how they will end finally.
Yes.
So
Thank you very much.
thank you so much, Sιντορέλα Βάτνικάι, for this conversation. We have to say that you are a very well-known, a famous, we could say, despite you are so young, activist based in Tirana, and you're activist not only for environment but also for urban and social justice, for the political system reform, and of course for the anti-femicide, which is a huge issue, not only in Albania, also in Greece. So we will be in touch. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for your work, your time, and solidarity.
Thank you. Bye.